Welcome to VNfiniti,
the podcast where we talk
and you listen.
We're your hosts, Ashley
and Tori.
Hey, boo.
Hey, boo.
How's it going?
It's going well. It's going well. Pretty good. We are, what is this? Almost a quarter through the year. Like, we have one more month and we'll be one quarter into 2021. Can you believe it?
Already.
I know. It's insane. And we're still in a pandemic. It's been almost 1 year. And I don't even believe we thought we would be here.
Goodness grief. Kids are returning back to school now.
Mm-hmm.
That's different.
Hospital numbers are going down.
Praise God.
Hospitalization numbers are going down. Death rates are going down as well. Yeah, I also saw that we're starting to see the number of people getting tested slow down, and that's kind of worrisome to the experts because they're thinking that people are just skipping getting tested for COVID, even if they do have it. So they're not able to keep up with numbers correctly.
I think after some time passed and after more research, covers this period of time, it's just going to be a whole lot of findings coming out. You know what I mean? Because just like that, with the testing numbers going down, the flu numbers have been lower. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just think it's a lot of craziness going on. You know what I mean? And in that whole aspect, right? We'll hopefully find out the real truth. We hope history books get the truth right? We don't know, because oftentimes the facts don't come out, and it's a lot of conspiracies, a lot of
we have lived through what 4 years of conspiracy, false truth,
alternative facts,
right? Just basically at the point where what is the truth? Like, is there any veracity in anything anymore?
For that segue, let's talk about it. So veracity is conformity to facts, right? Accuracy, right?
It is
habitual truthfulness.
Yes,
right?
Habitual truthfulness. Like, for one, I feel like we live in a society where people don't honor the truth. Like, it's not one of those things where people stand on their word anymore.
It's crazy.
Or it's like a lost art. Like, people like dig not telling the truth or telling half truths. Like, do you believe that there's a such thing as a half truth? Like, what the hell is a half truth?
Yeah,
that's a lie.
It's so much to the point where people start believing themselves, right?
And I think that's kind of truly where we need to hone in there. So I feel like people don't tell the truth because they can't face themselves.
That's a terrible thing. If you can't look in the mirror and face yourself, and then eventually
most people can't look in the mirror. So most people can't look in the mirror and be truthful to themselves. Like, they can't look in the mirror without having some kind of disdain or dislike for themselves. So they have to lie to themselves, and then they have to carry that lie on to everyone else. So, like, the truth is technically just continue to be lost. Like, it is no longer a thing. I don't believe. Like, I don't think people can be truthful.
And that's a problem, right? Because at that point, you're wearing a mask, right? And that means, like, your whole existence, the essence of your being is within deception.
But we're living in that world. Like, look at social media. Like, everybody, like, catfishing, it started off as like a joke and a TV show. Like, people really were falling for things, and now it's kind of like a badge of honor in order to be a different persona. Be deceptive, like, to not be your true self again, being able to face yourself.
People are mastering these different faces.
Girl, they got apps like that can change your whole body, and you could post that picture. Like, it's so much deception, and we continue to build upon a life of deception. Like, it's not just enough for me to be like, hey, I didn't eat today, knowing good and damn well I had everything under the sun and more. Like, it's not enough to tell a lie.
Like this,
but now it's just like, I feel like people now lie for no reason. Like, it's just to a point where it's just they lie for no reason. Have you ever been And have you ever known someone to just lie for no reason? Like, have that be a portion of their personality?
Yes.
Girl, I once, I wouldn't even say necessarily dated or anything. I once like had held conversation or company, and it was this guy who constantly like lied, like for no reason. I mean, just starting off to get to know each other, and it became one of those things like on the phone with people that weren't really people, having conversations that didn't really happen, only to get a point across from either a conversation that we previously had to again create this facade that wasn't true. And I was just like, what is this? Like, if you can't really be truthful in just a general concept, like what's the point of it? So what do you think people why do people lie? Why?
Oh man, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said it a little bit ago that people lie to be something that they're not. You know, like there's this whomever it is that they're wanting to present to the world, instead of them just working on becoming the best version of that person. They just go head on and start, living a lie. And I think that's one reason why people lie. I think another reason why people lie, which is the craziest thing, because it's just it's opposite of what
the truth is. Yeah.
Right. So this thing that people lie to get people to believe them, but you're not like. Why would you lie to get people to believe you instead of just telling the truth? And then I think there's the part of people making poor decisions, and they use the lies obviously to cover it up,
and it make themselves look better, right? Like, because that's it
they
still goes back to self.
Ashamed. They don't want to be embarrassed. They don't want to be caught out there making poor decisions or using poor judgment, or maybe it's their intention to to
continue
lie,
to put on this face and
this persona.
This persona. So it really, like, truthfully, in your opinion, you feel that people really lie just to avoid, again, facing themselves. I mean,
facing themselves or facing others, because you lied. So that's the thing about facing yourself. Like if they cared to face themselves, it would be hard to sleep at night. It would be hard to return to that person in their face another time, knowing that you lied to them. Like, how do you face someone face to face knowing, like, doesn't that eat you up inside? Doesn't that convict you?
That's your big thing, because I like
Girl,
and for people that don't know, my co-host is one of those that if she tells a lie, that shit eats at her until the end of the day.
I cannot.
She's like, it's like what isn't it like a story or an old tale that the lie?
There are many.
Keep getting bigger and bigger in the closet until the person confess. Like, this is her. This is her.
In a hole.
And I'm gonna keep it real, and I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm not gonna say I don't lie. I lie. I have lied. I tend to lie, and here is my thing about the whole lying situation. I'm not one of those that won't tell you that I didn't do something, or I won't confess. Like, I'm similar to you, which is probably why we get along so well.
I think so.
I will tell you if I lied. I will tell you the truth. My thing is, like, I tend to lie to protect others.
I've heard this before, right? Not from you, but from other
people. Like, so I may or may not tell you something, but it's going to be for your own good. In the long run, it may not necessarily be the best, like you said, decision or choice that I could have made in that time period. Yeah. But I have lied, and openly I can say this, in order for other people's feelings not to be hurt. In order to protect other people, it may or may not be the person that I'm lying to, but it may be a third party involved. So it's like I'm trying to protect that third party.
Sure. Right.
And even in those senses, like, I'm not going to outright be like, oh, well, Tori didn't do XYZ. I'm just going to be like, I wasn't with her. or I don't know what
Right.
she did.
Right. I think
You
that
got nothing to do
there's
with
a
that
duty
shit.
sometimes,
Yeah.
right? There could be a duty behind that,
Yeah,
right?
it could be a duty behind it.
But can I ask you a question?
Sure.
2 questions. One, have you ever lied? Well, it's just one question, actually. Can it just be a thing of, okay, no, it's 2. Right. Okay, because you want to be in a position to say it's none of your business.
Yes.
Or it's none of my business.
Yes.
But if it is your business, right? Because it's one thing if you having somebody's back, you know what, you like, I just can't be disclosing people's business, right? So that's one thing. But the other part to it is if it's about you, right? Because I can tell you, I can remember a time where I lied, right? And it was literally a bald-faced lie. And I'm going to tell you, I was so poor at it that it took me so long to answer the question that it was evident that I was lying. Right. And it was almost like being nailed to the cross right then. Like, you are pulling something from me that I don't care to share with you, even though, you know, I may have had responsibility or, you know, a duty to share that with you. It me as an individual, if what it was that you were asking me about did not directly affect you, or we can't change the outcome, or, you know, whatever the situation may be, why must you know? Why must we know some things? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's one thing that I need to know something to make a decision for myself. So I would like to have all information in order to make the best decision for me. And I don't feel like you have the right to withhold that information from me. But in another sense, one would say, well, it doesn't affect you, so you don't need to know, right?
Yeah.
And I might say, you're right, you know, but let me determine whether or not it affects me.
So
you know?
Do you think that withholding information is lying? So if I am having a conversation with you like we are now, and you ask me about my day, and I'm like, oh, it's okay. And if I go through everything else later with somebody else and you see that my day was just like wrecked to hell, like I withheld information from you that may or may not have been pertinent to you per se, but is that technically lying to you?
I think I don't know if I would say it was if that was the case. I would say more on a yes or no situation, right? Did this happen or did this not happen? Like, you're determining how your day was. It was a matter of how you judged your day. You know what I'm saying? You can say, well, you know, you might not want to talk about it. You may have thought that it wasn't as bad as it seemed, or maybe you knew it was just blown all to hell and maybe you didn't feel like talking about it or sharing it, or all these things, right? But in a yes or no matter,
so if
did
I'm
it
like,
happen or did it not happen?
So
And
if I'm like, you dating anybody else, and you like, no, it's just me and you,
right? Because I'm not officially
dating anybody
else. Because even the word dating
can
has
be
various
construed.
definitions.
Yeah, like what do you mean by dating? Like, I'm sleeping with somebody, but but we ain't dating.
Them,
so technically, I didn't lie to you. What? Are you seeing anyone else? Do we need to ask these questions? Are you single? Like, so it's crazy because, like, again, like, do you think that there are levels to lying? Like, I think
I was gonna say that. So you asked me, was omission
a lie?
Lying, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, there are levels to this.
So omission is one.
Yes, omission is a level to a lie. Like, let's go ahead on and put it out there. In myself, in saying that I have certainly omitted information with the intent of not disclosing all the details of the situation.
And it affecting you in the long term in some type of way, you're withholding knowledge that I need to know.
If you need to know it. Because see, that's the thing. Because there are varying degrees as to what you need to know.
Okay.
Because if I decide that that's my private information in my business, now it's one thing still, then maybe I should just say, I don't feel like I should have to disclose that information to you. And then that would be fair, because then you can assume whatever you want to assume. And you could also take that and say, well, since I didn't get everything I needed to know, how do I want to move forward? And then that might be telling about that person as well, because you might,
and that's a good way to get out of feeling like you need to lie. Like some people feel like they need to lie, like they're stuck in a corner, like they don't have any other choice but to lie. Like so it's more of a effective communication. Like you just don't know how to effectively communicate to a person, or you're afraid to communicate to a person. It ain't none of your business. It ain't none of your damn business.
It isn't, because you don't know how that person is going to react. You don't know if that person is then going to, snatch their friendship, their companionship, their partnership, their love from you and go on about their business. But that's the consequences.
So again, getting back to the protective state,
your decision.
So you're now protecting yourself or person.
No, so you're really protecting yourself.
So again, going back to self, like
right.
So
because lying is typically about self most of the time, right?
And that's what we talked about, like at the beginning of this. Like, is lying is about self.
Because even if you went and did X, Y, Z on with whomever, and your companion wants to know if it happened, and you're looking at your companion like, well, quite frankly, you might leave me, and then that hurts me. Because you already know the information that you have is likely going to hurt the other person. But
or
if you tell them,
or the consequences of what you did is going to hurt the other person. Like regardless, that person is going to get hurt. So even if you're trying to protect their feelings, you're only protecting their feelings based off of the consequences that you would have to face.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, if you knew that disclosing that information to them would not make or break the relationship, that they're still going to be there, then you might be more likely to share it. But with the idea that they may, take their love and go elsewhere, or take whatever they have to offer and go elsewhere, then you're protecting yourself. You're not protecting that person.
So
that's my opinion.
Omission, check. Lie. It's a lie. Omission is a lie.
I would say
so.
If someone is destined to get this information from you, right? And you are, you want to know, why do you need to know? Because that's the thing too. Why do you need to know? What are you going to do with the information? How does that change this? How does that change that? I mean, I do think that it is a matter of communication, but even still, let me know what's going to happen so that I can prepare for it. Okay. But then at the end of the day, I have a right to either omit, like not share it, or
just tell the truth. Yeah. So we've classified omission as a lie. What about little white lies? Like, are little white lies like necessary? I personally think that a little white lie, there's no such thing as a little white lie. Like, you lie. Like, little white lies should be big truths. There's no point in telling a small lie. Like, I don't care what it's about. Like, if you don't want your friend to know where you got your dress from, just say you don't want them to know where you got your dress from. Like, don't sit up here and be like, oh, I forgot. It is so engraved and so in tune to people. Like, people lie so much, even for the smallest of lies. Like, it's just, again, coming back to none of your business. Like, if you really want to be that honest, to be honest. So what's the point of a little white lie? I just don't get it. I don't get not telling truths about the smallest of damn things. Have I told a little white lie? I don't think I have. I can't think of a time that I have.
Or have needed to.
Or needed to tell a little white lie? I have to think on that. I really don't think I have had a need to tell just a small fable. Like,
I don't know. I still think omission has a place. In that I plead the fifth.
Pleading the fifth, keeping your mouth shut is one thing, but saying something and leaving out detail, that's another thing. Like, that's another thing altogether. Like, you can just not say anything in itself.
Because you literally have to think over what
to leave out, what to keep in, And the same thing with the little white lie. Like, if it's something as small as where you get your dress from, and you have to literally think of an excuse outside of it's wild to me. It's so wild. Like, I think people feel that it is easier to lie than it is to tell the truth.
And that's just the thing. Why? Because
I don't understand.
lie grows.
And it all comes back to either your personal feelings or the other personal feelings, like somebody else's personal feelings and the consequences from it. And why
because the consequences from it, if you lied, should be that you're not a truthful person. Yeah. I don't trust you. I can't build.
And that's the other big thing too.
I cannot build a relationship with you because I don't know who you are.
And that's the other thing too. Like lying comes back to trust. So like it's crazy because we build relationships with people who lie to us all the time and we trust them with things that life-changing things. Like we trust people with life-changing things over lies, whether they're small or big. And we continue to push and pull and be involved on all different levels, no matter how deep the omission is, no matter how small the white lie is, and no matter how grand it is. Okay, I have a question. What's the grandest lie that you think somebody's ever told you?
I didn't do it.
That's the biggest lie that you can think of that somebody's ever told you.
Isn't that big enough?
Huh?
Isn't that big enough? How big does it need to be?
Girl,
I didn't do it, but you did do it.
Girl, I have had some intricate lies told to me. I can intricate. Like, I got in a fight on my way home type shit.
Girl, no, I have not. Now, don't get me wrong. I have known friends of mine to have been, like victims on the receiving end of such bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I've had friends of mine, to have to experience that, but that's still like my experience.
I've had grand omissions
by way of other people's. They weren't my experiences. So I have not had a lot that I know of.
So why do you think people are really truthful with you?
No, I'm not saying that I think that they're really truthful. You're just talking about a lie on a
grand scale. Okay. I was like, hey, how come you ain't getting this energy? I can tell you some good. I can tell you some big energy, some big lie energy.
I am for certain that I have had people have lied to me. Absolutely,
girl. Some side of the street,
the largest one that I can recall.
Girl, some side of the street, police making you sing like you on the 5 heartbeats type shit.
I've never, and that's what I'm saying. So if someone lied to me, they're lying to me saying, that they were not involved in something that they were involved in. Not that they came up with this whole theatrical drama that never even happened. Like that would be freaking mind blowing to me that you just created a story out of the freaking air. Like what?
Girl,
just go to Hollywood with that. Like just start writing screenplays.
Girl, I've had screenplays written to me. I've had grand omissions that include babies and baby mamas and whole out fiancés. I've had grand schemes that included. Let me see what else could have happened that you wouldn't think of, like just for no reason. I've had some crazy, even from people that, like you say, are friends, like trusting in friends. I wouldn't say I have had a lot of friendships that have come about with lies. On some, I can say on some terms I have had some friendships that came about with some lies, like some omissions, being around friends and you be like, wait, what happened? Like, how did I get involved in this conversation? Like, why did my name come up?
Wait, no, don't do that, girl.
Like, what do you mean Ashley did? No, because again, I will admit if I did say something, if I did do something, if it did come back to me, I will admit I have no problem with it. A lot of that came about with my grandmother. My grandmother told me, and I will never forget this. It stuck with me. Ruth gave me this gem. She said,
"Oh, girl, I love a Ruth girl. My mother's middle name is Ruth. Girl, I love a
girl.
Ruth.
She gave me a good gem.
All the Ruths. Girl, I love Ruth."
She said, "Never say anything that you can't say in front of other people." So now, from there, if I tell you something and I expect you to keep it, I'm also going to expect the world to know in some kind of way. No matter how much I trust you, I'm going to expect it. So whenever it comes up again and I'm like, oh, you said, I said what? no, actually what I did say, and I'm going to repeat it verbatim, and I'm going to tell you what I said, and I don't care who's around. Like I've been in some of those situations where people have put me in some of their untruths in their lies, and then I'm sitting up there like, nah, we're going to run that back. Like, now Ashley ain't say nothing. Yes. Ashley ain't say that. What Ashley did say about you is,
and just like that very conversation, my mother, again, Ruth, right? Girl, so my mother shared with me as well that you have to be careful what you say around certain people, because if they ever determine, one, if they turn on you, or two, they can use you, they will take your information and twist it around. You know what I'm saying? And relay a message that was never your intended message. That wasn't my intended message, but however you received it is what you then took somewhere else. And so you have to be very careful about the company that you keep and the authenticity of their character. You know what I mean? Because you know, and so when you say, have I ever had someone to lie on me on that grander scale? If they had, I wasn't aware, but I'm going to also say that my history has been enough, and my experiences and experiences of those around me to try, I really try to like have some discernment about the company that I keep. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I definitely agree. I definitely agree. Like you have to keep your circle, groomed back. You have to understand, you have to be able to read people, be able to understand like who's going to be those people that's going to lie to you, lie on you, and lie about you.
And all those things, right? And something else, most of the time people know who authentic people are. They don't even fuck with them like that. They be like, you know what? No.
And then by telling your truth, and by telling your truth and and having a lot of that habitual truthfulness, having veracity, it always come back to you being the truthful person in the situation. You know what I mean? Like if you stand in your truth, and other people are going to know you stand in your truth. So nobody's going to be able to lie on you. Nobody's going to be able to tell somebody else, oh, she was lying, or, because it's going to come back and people are going to view that. And they're going to be like, oh, nah, like that's not even who Tori is. That's not even who Ashley is.
That don't even sound right.
It don't even sound right.
Sound right, Ashley.
I mean, we could have went on and on, especially with us like this conspiracy theories,
experiences, sharing stories, all kinds of crazy stuff, girl. This year, these 4 years, as you said, since, us having started this conversation like this, these 4 years, as you said, they have really paved the way for like a whole like deceptive future. Like we don't know, what the future is going to hold.
Taking Black history out of textbooks. I mean, we can
whitewashing,
girl, continue lying. That's not whitewashing. It's lying. It's blatant lying.
It is lying.
It's lying. Every lie has a little truth in it. And a person that lies will tell you that. A con artist, a thief, anyone. In fact, I think that people who lie are thieves. Like blatantly lie.
And didn't your mama ever tell you that was one of the ways my mama broke me as a child from lying? And I used the same thing on my child. No one's ever going to trust you, because if you'll lie, you'll steal. If you'll steal, you'll cheat. No one will ever trust you.
I mean, you're selling the truth in them. And like you said, you're not able to make your own choices or decisions without all the facts.
And so that's awful. How could you deny someone of that, especially if you care about that person? How could you be so damn selfish that you want to control someone to that extent? Manipulate someone to that degree that you will withhold pertinent information for them making decisions
about their life,
about their own life. Come on, don't be that person. Don't do that.
So get you some truth in your life out there. Like I said, if you can't see it, if you can't
get you some
find
true
it,
friends.
Get you some true friends. Get you
some true friends. The ones, because I'm gonna tell you, that's the other part that I love about true friends, because I need you to keep me in check. I need you to be able to tell me, nah, dog, I thought you approached that the wrong way. I think you approached that the wrong way. Oh, I don't think you should have said it like that. Oh, I don't think you should go with them.
So with true friends, you also have to have an open conversation and the ability to have crucial conversations, even when it comes with your spouse. Because I think that's the other thing a lot of people are missing whenever they have relationships. Is like, be upfront and be open with your spouse. Even when it comes to the whole sexual thing.
Even
Some
when it
people aren't
comes.
even, people are not honest with their spouses on that. And then they end up in situations where they're not being satisfied. And then the other person's not being satisfied. And then they're going to seek that satisfaction outside somewhere else because they're not having crucial conversations about that.
And we could just talk about it, right?
Yeah, they could just talk about it. And even if it's not sexually, if it's mental or it's spiritual or it's any type of well-being that you're not getting from your relationship and not having those crucial conversations and being open and honest, you miss out on those opportunities to grow together.
And there are very hard conversations to have, but let's have them because that's the realness of your spirit. Like that's your spirit speaking to. Like, set your damn spirit free. My spirit got to be free. I cannot live with these convictions. I can't sleep. When you have friends that tell you the truth, it pushes you further, right? But you also got to be able to, you have to be willing to accept that from your friend.
And that's the other part about truth and communication. So like if you are searching for the truth, you got to be able to receive the truth. Like don't get mad when somebody do tell you the truth. It's a whole nother thing. And again, like I said, it's only for the benefit of the person in some cases. But at the same time, like if somebody is honest, if we're dating and you tell me, hey, I want to see other people. The truth is that person wants to see other people. Now, for me, I have to make a decision on whether or not I want to enter into that agreement. But if they never told me that truth and just decided to see other people, they deny me something. But at the same time, I have to be able to accept the truth that this person is going to see other people or wants to see other people, whether I enter the agreement or not.
But wait, that's if they tell you.
That's if they tell me. I'm saying I still got to be able to accept it. I still got to be able to come to it like with both of my eyes open. If they be like, okay, I want to see other people, then I have to be able to accept that truth. Like they're telling me the truth. So if I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to see other people. That's one choice that I have to make. I don't want to see other people. Then I need to make another decision on whether or not I'm going to allow that and continue on with the relationship or allow that and keep it moving. Because guess what? It's going to happen. You can try to convince that person, no, I don't want you to see other people. They're not asking you. They're making a statement.
Right. Hello. And when they made that statement, they already kind of made it in mind that they might lose you. But they might also say, wait, though, if you don't want me to see other people, then I'm not willing to sacrifice you. Right. So maybe either we'll revisit this in the future or maybe we can't do this at all. And then then I have a decision to make. Ashley doesn't want to be in a relationship.
Where there's the truth in it.
There's truth.
There's the truth in it.
But the part where you never share this with me at all. But not only that, when I ask you, are you seeing other people? And you say no. Well, what the hell?
Girl,
do you? Is that considered a lie?
Yeah. Saying the truth.
Again, if I ask you, because it never came up that you wanted to see other people. As a matter of fact, it kind of came up in the situation where if you were to see other people, I would want you to share it with me, right?
Girl.
So if I'm asking you, Ashley, if you decide to see other people, can you let me know? You know what I mean? Can we be open and honest enough with each other to have this honest, open communication?
And I'm just gonna put this out there for any men that's listening. If a woman ever asks you, are you seeing other people? There is a couple of things going on. One, she either already knows that you're seeing someone else or have a feeling that or have a feeling that you are seeing other people, or quite honestly, she has options and she's just trying to make a decision on where she needs this to go. And so she's being truthful. Like she's making an informed decision. So by you not stating that you are seeing other people, you're withholding, you're stealing the options that she has on the table. And she's going to be pissed about that.
Is this my life?
Yes.
This is and I have not fully committed it to you because I have not taken your last name.
Girl, no.
So if I haven't taken your last name and all options are on the table and we're coming to this, straightforward and honest without our damn mask on, we showing up as our real self, at least we thought so. So if I'm saying to you, Ashley, are you seeing other people? Would you like to see other people?
Mm-hmm.
Are you interested in seeing other people? Are you entertaining other people on any level?
Are you sleeping with other people?
Are you having conversations?
Are you going on dates with other people? Like, why we got to go through all of that? You know what the hell I mean?
Hell,
you know what the hell I mean? Why I gotta ask you, are you seeing somebody? Why I gotta ask you, are you holding conversation with somebody? Why I gotta ask you if you're sleeping with someone? Why I gotta ask you, are you dating someone? Like, really?
There might be levels to it, girl. It might be levels to it.
Are those the levels to the lies?
I guess.
Girl, how big the lies gotta be?
Well, I'll be damned. I mean, because we grown ass folk, girl. Yeah. I'm grown as hell.
I mean, and it's just like that's just like the relationship level of it. Like you definitely touched on the whole part about your friends and you being able to have to look yourself in the mirror, but ultimately, like, it comes back to that. Like, I have to be responsible for myself. I cannot be responsible for the lies that you tell. But again, you got to live with that.
A lie is a lie.
A lie is a lie. Big,
small, white, black.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Stop this shit.
And look yourself in the mirror every morning and say, hey, do I got a lie today? You ain't got a lie, Craig.
Why? And talk yourself out of it.
Craig.
Right?
You ain't got a lie.
If you got to look in the mirror and be like, what am I going to say? Yes, think through what you can say, what you going to say, how you might say it. But whatever it is, let it be the truth.
The truth.
Tell the truth and shame the devil. He don't like truth, girl.
He don't.
Embarrass him, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Put him on Front Street. Let him know you are not his road dog. Y'all are not in the same circle. We do not roll together, devil. Go on about your business. That was the other thing, my mama. Girl, I don't lie for myself. I ain't lying for you.
I have a sister like that.
I don't lie for anyone. I don't have to. Mm-hmm. You want me to lie for you? No, you got me fucked up. You got me confused. You got the wrong one.
The wrong
one? Or you got the right one, baby.
Honesty is always the best policy.
Is always the best policy.
Regardless of if you're omitting anything, just have that crucial conversation with someone and just be like, I quite honestly don't feel like it's any of your business, and maybe not in those words, or, hey, maybe we can talk through this and understand like what you need to know and what you don't need to know, or just shut up. Like, you ain't gotta come on. And then for those little white lies, just tell the truth. These whole movies that you're writing about.
And at the end of the day, when it comes to, you're having made some poor choices and now you have to come and fess up, grow through it, okay?
Yes.
Grow
through it. And if you find yourself being a habitual liar, you need to
look in the mirror.
Look at yourself, like analyze it. Like, why do I need to lie? Is this really about my self-esteem? Is it really about me not being able to face the person that I am? Am I really catfishing myself?
Am I catfishing myself? Am I that bad? Yeah. Ashley, at the end of the day, it is very important for people to look in the mirror and ask themselves, who do I want to be? Who am I striving to be?
And how I can be the best me possible without lying.
How do I want to show up in the world?
Yeah.
Because how you show up, that's how people remember you. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's your reputation.
So if you're a liar, you're a liar.
You're a liar, boo.
Fix that shit.
That's it. And don't expect much from other people, because who you are is the company you'll keep. Mm-hmm. So if you swim around in the swamp, then that's who you're going to be. You swamp people.
And don't go around talking about you hold the truth close to your heart and you be the biggest liar in the room. Can't stand that shit.
What? People do that? The loudest people tend to be those ones, right? You got to watch
them. When you people be like, oh, I'm honest, I'm real honest. When they wear that as a badge of honor, girl, you better test it.
You peel the layers back.
Girl, don't the Bible tell you got to test them prophets?
Because they ain't all prophets, girl. They show up and wolves showing up in lamb's clothes and lambs showing up in wolves' clothes. Mm-hmm. You don't know.
And on that note, we thank you for tuning into the podcast where we talk
and you listen.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, and you can also find us on Instagram, and tune in wherever you get your podcast. Bye.
Bye.